Well, we've got a happy ending to a frightening story in rural Ontario. After wandering away from her family farm yesterday, a 2-year-old girl was found unharmed 15 hours later and reunited with her relieved parents. Joanna Remiliotis tells us how it all unfolded.
It was a regular day at the farm. Drew Hondrick had no way of knowing it would turn into a sleepless night of worry. He was milking the cows. His 2-year-old Brooklyn was running up and down the feed galley like she's doing in this family video, when suddenly she wasn't there anymore.
The dog ran into the cornfield and she kind of followed after.
Like any toddler who's grown up on a farm, Brooklyn had wandered off before into these very cornfields and had been scolded to not go back. More often, her parents would find her playing with puppies out back or just playing with her older sister. But this time, Brooklyn didn't come back.
You don't get too excited right away, but a few minutes goes by and we couldn't find her.
Brooklyn is only about this tall. You can see how easy it would be for a toddler to get lost in this maze of cornfields. Her frantic father was on his hands and knees calling for her until it got dark. Then police took over the search.
The biggest concern was how scared she must feel. It's not nice to know your little girl is, that scared.
Police and dozens of volunteers combed more than 100 acres of cornfields overnight. But it would only be 15 hours after she disappeared that a father and son who turned up to help found her, crouching and crying in the cornfield.
I called her name and I wasn't hearing anything, and I said, "Brooklyn, do you want to go to mommy? Do you want to go to mommy?" And I just heard a little girl crying, and I just followed the noise and took me right to her.
Brooklyn had ended up a kilometer away from where she disappeared. When the volunteers pulled up at the farmhouse with her, her parents say their prayers were answered.
She shouted, "Daddy!" and I raced around and grabbed her, and she held on pretty tight. So it was a nice hug.
Police say the remarkable community support and the warm temperatures helped make for such a happy ending.
Thank God last night wasn't as cold as it has been. It was 8 or 9 Celsius. Very small girl, yeah, it could have been a problem.
To be sure she was okay, paramedics whisked the toddler off to a nearby hospital. Her dad says she was giggling and happy while doctors looked her over, apparently unscathed by spending a long night on her own, although she did have a few tales to tell.
She said she saw a lion. I don't know. She, like I said, "You went for a hike last night?" And she said, "Yep."
Brooklyn is home now, tired after her night of adventure, but in good shape. Her parents, no doubt, keeping a close eye on her and holding her even closer. Joanna Remiliotis, CBC News, Norwich, Ontario.